Hello everyone and welcome back to the 141st episode of Panther Talks. Just as a reminder and to put this at the forefront of this episode, we are streaming straight as pretty much this episode ends over on Kick and on Twitch. We stream the next week's episode as of recent, because what we've started to do is we upload on a Sunday. It'll be like an hour typically before the episode ends. We usually start streaming on Twitch between 12 and 1 o'clock. Twitch and Kick. So feel free to jump over if you want to see a preview for the next week's episode. And we'll be there if you want to ask any questions, want to discuss any points that we might have. Feel free to do so. We're more than happy to have discussions while we do these streams. And
or just talk some shit, because he doesn't like talking shit.
Exactly, and we'll definitely end up, knowing us, putting that in the video as well. So feel free to do so.
Hello.
That was a weird one to say.
Yeah, you stuttered a little bit. You weren't sure what you were saying.
It sounded weird, okay? Anyways, this week we have a fair bit to talk about. We've got Sony also planning, from the seams of things, to pull away from PC releases, on top of Xbox's comments from last week, which is just insane.
Yeah, because less games for everybody. Why not?
Yep. Then we've got a gaming news company called Entertainment Focus absolutely calling out Sony, which I came across last night and thought was extremely interesting. After that, we have Hogwarts Legacy 2 release window, possibly hinted by Warner Brothers Games, which is apparently between 2027 and 2028, which I would be excited about.
But we see it on PC, though.
Well, we saw the first one on PC.
But the way Nintendo's going...
Oh, no, it's Warner Brothers, not Nintendo.
No, sorry, not Nintendo. Fucking... It's on PlayStation.
It's on all three.
It was...
It's not a exclusive.
That's okay. I said Nintendo because it was on screen, and I just... my brain just decided to say what it saw.
And then we've got Nintendo. Nearly $2 billion in Nintendo stock is about to change hands. Wonder if Tencent's listed in this.
Oh, piss off.
They usually are. Then we're going to talk a little bit about how there's a new RAM company called CMXT or King Bank, and they seem to be dropping prices of RAM, which is always nice.
We can surely but hope.
And finally, this is something I never thought I'd ever say. New Radical Games, a group that got rid of their website in 2013, has returned. Their website has suddenly kicked back up. And just to give you an understanding of what these guys were, these were the guys that made the original prototype, or they ported it at least. They made Simpsons Hit and Run.
Oh.
They made Crash Mind Over Mutant, Crash Titans, Crash Tag Team Racing, Scarface. Like, these
a whole lot of the older stuff.
Yeah, these guys were, like, amazing for their time. And they've suddenly come back from nothing. There could be re-releases of old games, there could be remasters, there could be a lot from this. And honestly, I'm not against the idea of some of these popping back up.
I think given how big The Simpsons being ported was, I would say they do pretty well for themselves if they just did a remaster of that.
Everyone wants to see the Simpsons Hit and Run remaster. Everyone. But anyways, let's move over and we can start the discussions. So, console is where they want to be. Reports indicate Sony is pulling away from PC for single-player PlayStation games.
Right where they want to be, Roy. Locked at 30 FPS.
Oh, yeah.
Remember all the talks we've had about how they're not going to be locked at 30 FPS anymore and their console's getting so much better and yada, yada, yada. And then we saw multiple releases locked at 30 FPS.
Well, that's just how it always works. They make a promise. They say, oh, if you want to play at performance, then you can get above 30 FPS. By that, I mean you'll probably
32.
get about 45 at a push.
Oh, man.
But if you want to play with graphics, then you're capped at 30.
That's just awful.
It is. So apparently, under the current leadership, PC has become less important. So let me just get this straight. PC has become less important to them. And that's fine. But just to understand how important PC really can be, I'm not sure if we can work. Here we are. Concurrent users on Steam. So this is right this second.
That's a hefty number.
Yeah, and just to think, by the way, these are like average dailies. Hey, obviously, less people jump on weekdays, more people jump on weekends. These are average numbers on a week-by-week basis. And you're trying to tell me that not important at all.
Just, potential sales that they could make massive income from, but that's not important.
Not
Idiots.
at all. But you gotta think, this is what I heard from someone else, and I get it to an extent, but at the same time I think, fuck you. For even thinking. And what they said was basically, Sony is a hardware company first and a games company second, which they're right on. So the priority is to sell consoles rather than sell games. My apologies. Which I get. I really do understand that. The problem I find with that entire ideology is the limitation. But to them, that keeps console sales going for longer periods of time. Which, once again, I understand, but at the same time, fuck you. You're basically just making the fucking industry feel like a worse place to be the longer it goes on.
Yeah, that's sort of how it's been feeling lately.
Yeah.
And by lately, I mean like the last 5 years. Whether it's the game side or the fucking technology side of it.
Yep. Do you remember when we started this podcast and there was actually some good news? And then, like, within, I think it was.
You say
4
that,
months.
but we dealt with Forspoken on the first month, I'm pretty sure. So,
Well, yeah. But for the first 4 months, it was pretty solid. And there was usually some good news all the way through. And, like, the last 2.5 years, there's just been nothing but negative news every week. I don't think we've had a week where it's just been positive news since, like, near the beginning.
Yeah, it's so hard to find just anything, really.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking for it, if you remember, because we were going to discuss another topic this week, but I've decided no, because I just can't cope with it. It will anger me to another level. And I was searching for good news, because that was Will's, like, criteria. If I'm to mention this, I need some good news. I was literally searching good news in the gaming industry. That's all I wanted. Hardware announcements, retro revival, PS5 Pro upgrade, cloud gaming growth.
That's a load of bullshit, considering we just seen what happened to cloud gaming with fucking Nvidia.
Upcoming Golden Age. Not gonna happen. Highly anticipated titles. GTA 6 is set for release this autumn. Wow. New Pokemon and franchises. Wow. Helldivers 2 has become the fastest selling new IP for PS5.
If they cut everyone off from it again.
Yeah. AI is a business essential. Is that positive? Player-based growth, I guess that counts. Social and mental health benefits, we've been arguing this for the last 3 years.
See, they're mistaken in that. The player-based growth is actually just all the cheaters making new accounts to go and cheat on games again.
Pretty much.
That's mistaken numbers, They don't really count.
Diverse representation. Cool. New investment funds. Crafton has announced a new £670 million fund to bolster the Indian gaming market. Whatever.
What?
Support for startups. How's any of this, like, fully good news?
That's random stuff as well.
Yeah, but none of that makes me as a player turn around and go, that's amazing. It makes me look at it and go, if this is what you call good news, God help me when the bad news comes. Especially when you talk about AI.
Yeah.
Sony is reportedly pulling away from PC when it comes to single-player PlayStation games to focus more on console exclusivity. We're going
What's
backwards,
the thing we've been fighting this
Backwards.
whole time since we've made this podcast,
Yep.
Make games accessible everywhere for everyone. You'll get more players, which means more sales, which means more money, and then everyone gets to play the game as well. It's nothing but positives.
Yeah. If you notice, by the way, ever since Phil Spencer's, like, decided he's retiring, every single group has decided we're going back to exclusivity.
This was a few days ago, Roy.
Yeah, I know. That's the scary part.
So if this is how fast it happened, it's gonna get a whole lot worse.
Yep, that's the frightening part, sir. Various comments from credible sources, including Bloomberg reporter Jason Schreier and Digital Foundry's John Lineman, indicate PC has become less important for Sony, and that single-player PlayStation exclusives may remain just that. Speaking on the Triple Click podcast, Schreier indicated that Sony will continue to release its live service games on PC. Of course.
Because it's full of
You will.
microtransactions.
Scumbags. As well as PlayStation, but the sense I'm getting is that they're backing away from putting their exclusive console stuff, like traditional single-player stuff, on PC. Schreier pointed to Insomniac's Wolverine, due out on the PS5 exclusively this September, which he suggested may never come to PC. Cool, then I'll just never get it. Fuck you.
Which means a whole lot of sales lost for them, but hey, if that's the route they want to go down.
Yeah, it's because they know some people will just buy a console just to get it. At the end of the day, though, most of those people that will buy a console to get it will either do so secondhand, meaning Sony don't get the money.
They don't get any of the money.
Yeah. That's what I don't understand about this. Not many people are going to go out there and go, you know what, I'll buy a brand new console just to play this game individually.
Yeah, on a bloody controller as well.
Yeah. Schreier then suggested Sony hasn't seen significant commercial success by putting its single-player games on PC. Are you taking the piss?
I think so.
I've got a... So I know Marvel Spider-Man 1. Yeah, I definitely can't say, like, there's anything wrong there. Now, what about Marvel Spider-Man 2? I know this one didn't do as well. I know it didn't, because they fucked up a lot. They had a lot of problems with it. So
it's still
you can
81%
see that.
positive.
Yeah. They were mixed for a while, but you can even see then, like, they're doing a lot better. Oh, yeah. Also, we get to mention this. The review of PC specs is now here.
So funny. It's so funny that it's giving like precise amounts on RAM because you don't actually get all the RAMs. You're seeing it's like 62 gig and 31 gig.
Yeah. But we finally get to see this information, which I love. I really do love that. So, yeah, there's a lot to be said, a lot to be done on that one. So we'll see as we go. But I don't agree that they've not been commercial successes. I really can't see that. Because barely... So the way it works on PC, a lot of people will leave reviews, sure. But the amount is a lot lower than the amount of people that play the games.
Yeah, it's always like, I don't know about you, I very rarely leave a review, and anytime I do, it's because the game has gotten so shit that I need to vent. Oh,
it's either they've got so shit or they're an absolute fucking masterpiece that I cannot help but want to talk about.
Now I'm really worried for Beyond Sandbox. Please don't be shit.
Yeah, you've got one of two ways it's going to go for you. I've got 17 reviews on my account, and...
Holy!
I really should go back and edit this at some point. But yeah, here we go. First-party single-player PlayStation games that have made the jump to PC include Marvel Spider-Man, God of War, The Last of Us, and Ghost of Tsushima, and Days Gone. In a post on Reset Era, Shai said his comments were not speculation, but sometimes topics come up on the show before I'm quite ready to publish a story about them. More to come soon, I'm sure. The other point I have about these games in particular, the ones listed here, they weren't quite commercial successes. Well, I wonder why. You basically locked them to a console for many years, and then PC players who didn't own them consoles decided to buy them. But what about all them people that did own a console as well? Because there's always a bunch of us that do. Well, they'll have already bought it and played it, so what's the point in them buying it twice at a higher price? It doesn't make sense. Of course you're not going to get as many sales when you release it so long after.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Like, what was the typical wait time whenever it was a PlayStation game? We'd be waiting like 2 years?
Yeah, 1 or 2 years.
It's like by time that's happened, everyone's played it on console already. They're not gonna buy it on PC if they do own both, and people on PC are probably already over it.
Yep, exactly that. Digital Foundry's John Lyman said something similar on Digital Foundry Direct. I actually have an inkling that they're pulling away from PC, Lyman said. Watch this space. I get the feeling that under the current leadership, PC has become less important. One might argue that the Jim Ryan era, the one positive thing to come out of it is the shift to PC. but I'm not confident they have a huge vision for PC going forward. Not that we won't still see some PC games happening, but I think it's not going to become more PC focused. I think if anything, it's going to become less. This is the reason I don't think they would ever consider a PC launcher like going bigger on PC at the expense of console. I think console is where they want to be. IGN has asked Sony for comment. I'd imagine they haven't. Yeah. But then it just goes into the basic, typical bullshit. I find it to be a bit mental, I must admit. I really am so fucking against this whole thing, but I can't see anything changing. No time soon,
It just doesn't make any sense, really.
No. But it does, in a way, but at the same time, it's going to be massively counterproductive for the industry itself. And I just feel like it's going to be one of them cases again where it's the players are the people that miss out and lose out.
It's always been the way, you know? The industry's gone so shit as it is, and we're missing out on so much stuff. Releases have been awful, but now we're going to see even less releases. There's even less odds that we're going to see a good release because we're not going to get all of the releases because they decide, you know what, screw you, we're only doing it on our console, and that's that.
Exactly. On top of that, you got to think, Sony announced the shop closure of Blue Point Games just this month. The studio that remakes of behind the remakes of both Shadow of Colossus and Demon Souls. Sony still operates PC port specialist Nixxes Software, which they bought, if you remember, in 2021. How long do you think they've got left?
The only reason they're not gone already is because they bought them.
Yep.
They've got to at least put in some work before they get rid of them.
Yeah, I can't see it going for long. Right, moving on. We have entertainment.
Very sad times.
It is. It's really disappointing.
I mean, we've been going for what, over 3 years now, is it?
Yeah.
And our main focus, anytime we're talking about literally anything, is getting more games to everyone. And as you said, everything just went backwards.
Exactly. It's a bit mental to even think about.
Phil Spencer leaving really going to be the downfall of everything, huh?
I've got a really bad feeling it might actually be. You know, a bit like the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. That's like step one to it.
Oh, man.
Be sad if it were, wouldn't it? Anyways, entertainment focus. We feel compelled to share an experience we're currently having at PlayStation UK that is affecting us on a personal and professional level. We've covered PlayStation games and consoles for over 20 years, always having a good relationship with the brand and the various teams that have worked with them over the years. In a bid to further expand our coverage and include more PS5 content, we bit the bullet on Tuesday night and ordered a PS5 console from PlayStation Direct, PlayStation's online store. Why did we choose that? Because as a PlayStation Plus subscriber, we received 5% discount off the retail price, which is significant given that the console normally retails at $479.99.
Is that the basic console?
Yep. From what I
is up to 400, back up to 480?
Yes, from what I see, yeah. Happy with our decision, we excitedly went to track our order on Wednesday morning to discover that our PlayStation Network account, the one we've had for around 20 years, has been permanently suspended. The first thing we did was speak to PlayStation Support's online chat, as the help guides suggest, who told us that we could appeal it. Within a matter of hours, we received a response that simply said, "Thank you for contacting PlayStation Support regarding your account. I'm sorry to hear about your issue. Unfortunately, due to security reasons, we can't assist you any further. I hope this helps, but if you have any other questions, please contact PlayStation Support and one of our team will be happy to help."
In what way does that help?
That's my question.
Sorry, go fuck yourself. Kind regards, bye.
Go fuck yourself. Hope that helps, bye.
Honestly, though.
Yeah, I feel really bad for these guys, though, with how this story all goes. We tried speaking to PlayStation Support on the phone and was told they couldn't help or tell us why our account has been suspended. Logging on to our PS4, we could see the code WS37368-7, which, after a quick Google, tells us that there is a debt or chargeback on our account. We spoke with our credit card company, who told us they hadn't initiated a chargeback. Next, we called PS Direct, who confirmed they'd had no issue with our payment. but that they couldn't help us with our account and passed us back to PlayStation support. We've been battered back and forth between the two since Wednesday, with no further information provided and no willingness to help us. It's insane that they went to their credit card company and went, "Can you tell us if they're just talking out their ass?" And they just went, "Yeah, we've not done anything."
That's crazy. So for no reason, they're constantly turning around saying that nothing's actually happened, even though clearly something has happened.
Yep. We have spoken to the UK PR company, who is trying to help, but as of yet there has been no resolution. As it's becoming clear we won't be getting our account back, we decided the best thing to do was to cut our losses and return the console. Speaking once again to PS Direct, we were told we can't return the console unless we can access our online account. The same one that's suspended.
How were they able to order it if it was under permanent suspension?
Oh no, it got suspended afterwards, after the order.
Huh?
Which, that's what's the weird part. So it was saying that there was a chargeback, but it said that after they'd made the order already, and they'd already purchased it. So the logical thing is, oh, maybe it's because the console that they bought from PlayStation Direct got like chargebacked. It didn't, according to their credit card company and according to PlayStation Direct. At that point, it's baffling. So yeah, they can't return the console unless they have access to their online account, the same one that's suspended. We can't. We asked if they could send a return label by email, and we were told that they can't. When we asked what to do, they passed us back to PlayStation support once again, who confirmed they would not help with our account. When we asked how we can return the console, they told us we couldn't, and advised us to sell it online. We then received an email with a return label linking to an account we can't access. PlayStation Support and PlayStation Direct has refused to disclose why our account has been suspended, and there seems to be no way to return the console. We can't actually believe how poor this experience has been, how anti-consumer and a complete disregard for the consumer rights. We're now forced to take advice from Citizens Advice, who have advised advised what our legal rights are and suggested steps forward, which include complaining in writing to PlayStation in the UK and raising a dispute with our credit card company. Before anyone says, just open up a new PlayStation Network account, we can't, because we would then be violating the terms of the service and run the risk of receiving a console ban, rendering our consoles useless. If anyone has anyone in their network who works for PlayStation, please can you forward this to them or tag them in the comments. For a company that is well known and popular, this is a complete and utter shambles, and we can see from a quick search online that they treat many of their customers like this. They shouldn't be allowed to get away with it.
That's wild.
It's absolute lunacy, mate. It's absolute lunacy. So yeah, this is an entertainment-focused news site. They do a lot to do with games, film, technology, music, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, they've just lost access to their PlayStation account.
The only thing that I being able to think of they could possibly have caused it is they had to have some sort of funk in their system that fucked everything up.
Well, this is my curiosity. You know how as he said at the beginning, that it was you got a discount when using this site because they own PlayStation Plus. I'm really curious. Did they by chance, Sony site, count it as a chargeback because they were getting a discount on the full price?
So that's what I'm saying. Like the only explanation is there was a funk in their system when they ordered this that then just screwed everything up. Yeah. And it got flagged as a chargeback, and it was just it just initiated an immediate suspension, and they just didn't care because I mean, in fairness, people who do chargebacks are scumbags.
Oh yeah,
but at the same time, like just because that's just a flaw in their system at the end of the day. Then for this situation. People who do actual chargebacks, they should receive a permanent ban because you're just dealing with people who are just scum.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, you can't just immediately overlook everything.
No. So they replied 6 hours ago. The support on this post has been insane. Thank you to everyone that has interacted and reposted. Our hope is that with our platform, we can shine a light on the appalling way PlayStation UK treats not only us, but also its many customers. Hearing the stories from people about their experiences is shocking, and PlayStation needs to be held accountable.
We need more support, like Steam, dude. Where they just they'll send a SWAT team.
Yeah, just send a local SWAT team to them. Problem solved.
But like that's crazy. Like these guys might end up getting everything sorted for them because they have a bit of a name for themselves. But what about the everyday player?
Oh,
Nothing. Odds are, like, as much as they appeal this and like cry about it online to try and get as much attention as possible, odds are nothing's going to change in the industry, in Sony's industry, about it.
Yeah.
So that all that means is these guys get their account back. Great, that is good. But everyone else who gets constantly screwed over is just going to stay that way.
I'm trying to find this. There was something I saw. This guy, basically, his account got hacked, I think it were, and someone spent a load of money on it, on his credit card. Steam detected it first, stopped it, and stopped the payments. His credit card company had no fucking idea it had even happened.
Nice.
But Steam immediately picked up on it and went, nah. Reset his password, sent it all to him, and went, right, there you go. All sorted. It's like, my credit card company says that nothing was wrong and they were going to wait 3 days to charge the money back. They were like, oh, yeah, it's fine, it's sorted. It's like,
we're having we had the issues with the card companies like basically determining what we can and can't spend our money on. That's why loads of stuff got removed and all that, and we've probably had so many situations with other companies doing other things like that. But honestly, I don't think I'd be mad if Valve tried to take over because they just seem to be doing things right.
I mean, if Valve did it, the only thing that I can say for certain is I guarantee you we'd at least end up with consumer positive experiences across the board. Everything would be for the consumer first.
Yep.
And I can work with that. So, Hogwarts Legacy 2 release window possibly hinted at by Warner Brothers Games. Be nice, Will.
Well, the first one did insanely well. I mean, let's be honest. I don't know about you. I still go back and watch all the Harry Potters every now and then.
Oh, definitely.
Because my brain is very stupid and I still get entertainment. And I'm sure I'm not the only one.
No, there's
so the amount of people that are out there that probably go back and watch the Harry Potter films, there's massive fans.
I loved the first game. I'm really looking forward to a sequel, I must admit. A senior Warner Brothers Discovery official may have hinted at Hogwarts Legacy 2 could release in 2027 or 2028. What's more, the Hogwarts Legacy sequel may not be the only high-profile Warner Bros. Game to launch during that period. Avalanche Software's first open RPG. Yeah, we already know all about that. We don't need to go through all of it. Discovery CFO Gunnar said that developing a successor to the hit 2023 game was one of the company's biggest priorities in the medium term. Although the group has since streamlined its video game operations, closing some studios and narrowing its strategy, all signs point to Hogwarts Legacy 2 remaining a part of its plans, as it should.
Yep.
On Warner Brothers Discovery's latest earnings call, president of Global Streaming and Games described 2025 as a reset year and insisted that the company will soon aim to deliver more compelling results. The real fruits will start coming in 2027 and 2028 when we return with some of our biggest franchises. The executive said while Peretti didn't name titles, the timings align with the potential Hogwarts Legacy 2 release window, assuming that the sequel started development around the time the first game went gold. As it should have. I wonder if that also means I'm going to finally get a new Batman Arkham game. I hope so.
It's just tough because it's kind of a question of where did they go from the first game,
There's a lot of time though, isn't there?
There is. It's just can they do it right,
Yeah. What I like is they've got 100 years to play with.
Yeah, literally, like there's so much content out there. They just as and if they do it right, it's gonna be something else because of the fans of the Harry Potter series as well. They're gonna
Yeah.
absolutely love it.
Well, that's the other thing. Sure, they've got 100 years to play with between Hogwarts Legacy and Harry Potter, but they've got longer if you want to go further backwards instead.
Yeah, like you've got what is it, the magical beasts one? You've got all
Yep.
that. You've got where you had like Dumbledore when he was younger, you've got all that, then you've got the
Yep.
entire Harry Potter legacy, you've got so much.
Oh, definitely. There's so much that you could do. There really is. I'm very excited for that. Right.
The first game didn't have multiplayer, right? There was
No, it
someone
didn't.
actually
Someone
making
made a
it. They were
co-op mod.
the same team between behind Skyrim together, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so that's one thing that could definitely help them is adding the multiplayer as well. Not necessarily like, MMO style, but just co-op.
Every game can be improved by just adding co-op. Simple.
Absolutely.
It is
And
that fucking
If
simple.
we're looking at if we're looking at the Harry Potter side, it was the three of them for the most part, and then sometimes poor Neville got added added in. But like
But
like the options there for it. It wouldn't be unreasonable to have like a few of you going through it.
no, exactly. And I've got to say, the game still looks stunning. Even now,
Yeah,
after all this time. It's a stunning game. It really is. And that's a lot of bollocks. It'll be funny. Most people completed this game in well under 30 hours.
yeah.
I'm really surprised by that. Yeah, I truly enjoyed it though. I thought it was a great game. Really well for it. I look forward to a sequel. The executive confirmed that none of those returns to the company's biggest franchises have been formally announced yet, thus dropping yet another hint suggesting that Hogwarts Legacy 2 could be among them. Perez
You've
remarks
got to build
also.
anticipation.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It's a great way to get like knowledge out that this could be happening, and even then, if that's not what your plan is, it means there's loads of people listening to what you're saying about what the company's doing, and then they end up finding out about what you are releasing.
Yeah. Perez remarks also characterized 2026 as a lighter year for major releases, with Warner Bros. Highlighting such projects as a new Lego Batman title and a mobile game called Game of Thrones Conquest. The Lego Batman game looks
Okay,
fucking fantastic. I don't care what you say.
they had to go with a bloody mobile game though, just to ruin
Oh
everything,
yeah.
didn't they?
Well, as I
Come
said,
on.
it's a light year for gaming, so it kind of makes
Yeah,
sense. But Warner Bros.
I think
Games' biggest IPs as of early 2026: Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, Mortal Kombat, and DC Comics.
I think it's kind of worse for me when it comes to hearing about mobile games because, as you know, I did quite a bit of it whenever I didn't
Oh
have
yeah,
access to anything else, and they were actually so good. You saw so many like little games released a lot of the time for free, and there'd be like options for support that weren't mandatory just to be able to play the game. And they used to be so good or so interesting in their own way. And
oh yeah,
then you look at it nowadays, and a game gets released for free. It has absolutely no gameplay in it except just repetitively tapping on stuff. And there's infinite microtransactions.
well, of course. It's all games are now. Will it's all games are. Uh, I'm very excited for
It's
this. When does it drop? 29th of May.
Man, the Lego games though, obviously back when I used to play them, I haven't played one in a long time, but I used to play them all the time on console. Dude,
Oh yeah,
absolute funnest things ever. You just got to run around, and because as well, like it's stuff that like Batman for example. Then you had the Star Wars ones. You got a few of the Harry Potter ones. It's stuff you knew about. So you got to go through. You knew about the worlds as it was, but they did their own take on them, where it was like maybe a little bit memey or some funny things or some
yep.
references, and they were just good.
Well,
There was nothing bad about them. They were just funny and entertaining, and they weren't difficult either. It was meant for like a chill playthrough, have a bit of fun with it, and then if
yep.
you wanted at the end, you could go and grind it out a little bit to get all the collectibles, like the red bricks or whatever the equivalent may be. So it's like with the Star Wars ones, you have the power cells.
Yep.
They were just good.
I've got to say the new Star Wars one that they dropped just like 2 years back, I think it were. They did really well with that, and this seems to be going like down the similar route, except they've gone full on the bringing like the Arkham games combat style. and they seem to have done really well at it. So I must admit, I'm very excited. It just looks fantastic, especially for a Lego game. Though I don't think I'm going to pay that much.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I just can't
60
justify
quid
it.
for a Lego game.
Yeah, I can't justify that. You know,
That's insane.
can't justify it. It looks cool, but I'm not going to justify that.
Absolutely not. I don't
Nintendo
blame you.
is preparing for a massive shift in its shareholder base, with roughly $1.9 billion worth of stock set to be sold by a group of long-time strategic holders. The move arriving as a signal that Japan's cross-shareholding era is still unwinding, is poised to reshape Nintendo's ownership profile, which could have long-term impacts on the gaming giant. Oh, just as they're in the middle of a lawsuit.
What the fuck was that?
Don't know, I'm going with it. Shareholder base is dominated by trust and custody accounts that hold shares on behalf of underlying investors, with a second term of large international custodians and asset managers. Based on the company's latest stock information disclosure dated September 2025, the Master Trust Bank of Japan's trust account is the largest named holder, accounting for about 16.29% of ownership. Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund became Nintendo's largest foreign shareholder in 2023. It is unclear whether it still holds that title 3 years later, because it has since reduced its stake in the company by 4.19%.
4.19%.
It's 4.19%.
Yeah, you said buy.
Oh, two.
It's two.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you are right. Nintendo's disclosed on February 27th that a group of shareholders, including major Japanese banks, will sell a large block of its stock as part of an unwinding of strategic shareholdings. As first reported by Reuters, the deal uses Friday's closing price and is valued at 290 billion yen, which equates to approximately $1.9 billion. Based on
I'm not sure if you can really call it strategic or just, holy shit, that's more money than I could ever spend in my entire lifetime. Time to go and live like a prince for the rest of my life.
Mate, that's more money than I spend by in my entire life by about 100 times.
You think you're gonna? Yeah, no, I guess, yeah. Still sounds like an insane amount of money.
Yeah, I could literally live on, well, no, not even 100 times, probably 1,000 times. I could survive on 2 mil for the rest of my life. Easy.
Math is, yeah.
Math is not my strong suit, leave me be.
No, yeah, that's I thought that because 20 mil seems like a lot. 2 mil's a bit more reasonable. I'd say you probably spend more than 2 million in your whole life though. When you look at a mortgage, by the time you've paid that off, that's like nearing $1 million if you get like a semi decent mortgage.
Mate, I might just go fucking move to Japan. Have you seen house prices over there?
Oh yeah,
it's like 60 grand.
Yeah, I know.
No, there was a castle that someone was selling for 61,000.
Okay, that's maybe a stretch. It's probably like 30 miles from anywhere, man.
I don't care. I'm in the middle of fucking nowhere, away from everyone.
You don't drive.
I don't go places.
You need food, mate. What are you gonna do? Fucking milk a cow? I'd like to see that happen.
You put orders in. It's a small country. As such, it affects around 2.8% of outstanding Nintendo stock. The Bank of Kyoto, Reasoner Bank, and mobile gaming giant and long-time Nintendo partner, Dina, are among the companies selling shares as part of the initiative. The seller list matters because it's a textbook example of Japan's cross-shareholding model. Companies and financial institutions owning stakes in one another to reinforce business ties. The practice dates back to immediate post-World War II, but regulators in Tokyo Stock Exchange have pushed firms to reduce it in recent years. Nintendo framed the transaction as part of a broader unwind, echoing a corporate governance trend that has accelerated among Japanese blue chips. This is getting into stuff that we've got no fucking clue about.
Yep.
Why Nintendo fans may care about this deal. This is the bit we care about.
But it's one paragraph.
Yeah, this one paragraph right at the end. In the immediate term, the Nintendo stock sale is unlikely to have any material impact on Nintendo's operations. However, as strategic shareholders step back and the ownership mixes become more market-driven, Nintendo may face increased scrutiny over profitability, pricing, release cadence, and capital allocation, supported by a large liquidity buffer that includes 1.71 trillion yen in cash and deposits as of September 30th, 2025. So they might face scrutiny over profitability, pricing, release cadence, and
They're going to
capital
have to pay
allocation.
out a bunch of shareholders.
Yep.
That's how it works. Oh, no.
So, DDR5 prices are broken, so we tested cheaper Chinese RAM, which is CMXT that I was telling you about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So, let me just get to the benchmarks here. So, these are running at medium, so we don't really care about medium, do we? How about we go for ultra cyberpunk? These are the benchmarks I was reading out to you earlier. So, the one that we're looking at here is what's called King Bank. This is the RAM that they were using. And you can sort of see where it sits.
I mean, it's pretty much as good as the top one there.
Yeah, there's not
basically
much
one
difference
FPS
at all.
difference.
Yeah, there's really not much difference at all. Now, considering these were charging a lot less in price, it's pretty impressive as things went. It was around $138, while average prices elsewhere range from $300 to $400.
If not a whole lot more.
Yeah. I'm just taking a look here, see if there's any difference. Doesn't seem like anything's really changed in between now and then. But yeah, $138 for a 32 gigabyte DDR5 kit.
What speeds was that for, though?
6,000.
That's
CL36.
Yeah. Yeah, because it was when we were looking at RAM in the episode when we covered this, it was once you hit 6,000 speeds and upwards, the prices started to become absolutely insane. Below 6,000, if you looked around enough, you'd find decent RAM as long as you're happy enough with the brand. But it was the 6,000 upwards that just started to just absolutely skyrocket. And the prices just became so unreasonable that they were like breaking GPU prices, let alone anything else.
Now it doesn't even matter, mate. It doesn't matter what it is, it impacts in some way, shape, or form.
It's all up now, is it?
Yeah, it really is. If I just do DDR5 RAM, I mean, that's surprisingly low.
Speed is it?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because that doesn't make sense. Unless that's 8 gig.
That's eBuyer just makes me think like it's the up to date Amazon or eBay, which means it's probably going to be bidding.
No, eBuyer is not like that thing.
Fair enough.
Let me open up a bunch of websites I sometimes use.
So, let's be honest as well, though. If you're going to be getting DDR5, you're not going to be getting low speeds because it just doesn't really make sense.
Minimum. Ouch.
Yeah.
I'm in pain.
Yeah.
Just remember, by the way, sir, I am upgrading in April.
Yeah, good luck.
There's about half my money gone immediately.
Yeah, I look forward to hearing how ridiculous it is. The only good part is you don't need to pay for a GPU because that's the other insanely expensive part.
I've TI and that thing's beast.
Yeah, it used to be pretty much the only insanely expensive part, but then all this happened with RAM, so I look forward to your building process.
2 sticks of this, 2 times this.
Yeah,
it works out. That's basically the equivalent of that, except that I think will be cheaper.
Oh shit!
Am I right?
Yeah, it'd be way cheaper.
Yeah.
So, that's 2 sticks of it, 16. Yeah, that's 360 versus 420.
Yeah.
Just if you
And if I want to upgrade down the line, I'll just when prices drop, I'll buy 32 4 sticks of 32. Sorry, 4 sticks of 16.
Yeah.
It's just insane. I'll probably go with them with something like that just to knock it down a bit. But there's sites to look at, but they're just ludicrous.
Yeah.
216 gig. Wait, what? What's this? Where's this? Well, that's a load of bollocks then, isn't it?
Offers without a direct link. Well, that you don't buy from those.
No. Lying bastards. eBuyer. What you got for me? Laptop RAM.
Ugh. Oh God. Oh,
These.
get it off the screen. It all looks awful.
Well,
Oh,
yeah,
what is that first one?
that's laptop RAM. But that's more like server style. That's what you'd stick in a server, and that'd be the end of that. I don't mind using it though. At the end of the day, I don't go just to buy look. I go buy what's
Yeah.
actually fucking affordable.
Yep.
DDR5 RAM. Let's go.
6,000 megahertz.
Yeah, 6,000. Yeah, no
Done. Just
chance.
one item. That's
Yeah.
500 quid.
So yeah, it's gonna be a while. But yeah,
Well,
come
you've
April.
got the entirety of this month for hopefully prices to change for the better.
Well, I'll find out next week whether I'll even have enough fucking money for it. Because next week I find out my bonus and pay increase. And that's
Oh,
basically
yeah.
what everything relies on. And I get paid that in March. It's just like, when that time comes, we'll find out for certain whether I can even do it. Or whether it's going to have to be held off. Which is sad. But anyways, last topic. New Radical Games. As I mentioned right at the beginning, this is a website that was taken down in 2013, yet suddenly it's returned. No one knows why. No one knows what's happened. But it's
They were
back.
all on sabbatical.
A very long fucking sabbatical of it.
Oh my God, it looks like a floppy disk. Jesus. The hothead.
Oh yeah. Back in 2006, mate.
Things were different back then.
You know, just seeing shit like that, though. Hit and Run, Prototype, Scarface, Crash Tag Team Racing.
So what do you think we're gonna get from this then? Do you think we're gonna see remasters, or do you think they're just making a comeback and they're gonna make new titles entirely?
I think, to be brutally honest, if we read this, it'll give us a better understanding. Services. Work for hire, full game development. A highly skilled team is available immediately to take on full game, metaverse, or real time VFX projects. We also provide smaller strike teams to help with optimization, live operations, design, tuning, services, and more. Mobile and console, so they work on either. Co-development, we're happy to team up with your staff or another studio to co-develop a great game together. We're ready to function as an extension of your team, and we have resources to scale almost any project. The last two are the interesting parts as well. Porting. Expand your reach by re-energizing your titles by porting them to new platforms. With our multi-platform expertise, we're excited to help you introduce your game to fresh audiences. And finally, remastering. We specialize in remastering classic games by enhancing visuals, audio, and gameplay to revive beloved titles for modern hardware, appealing to both new players and long time. Now, I think primarily they're just trying to sell their services to major companies. That's clear
Seems
from
like
there.
it from that first bit.
Exactly. But if they take their shot, they go over to I'm hitting back, not forwards.
Yeah, I was so confused there.
So baffled. I don't like this website. Okay,
Wow.
you need to program that better, guys. Come on. I did a bit of web
Yeah,
design. I can tell you
that's not great
right.
for your application.
Why has it gone to Hothead Games instead of... Where's the... Oh, it's here. That's why I'm dumb. So, using this as a prime example, I think they could reach out to these companies that actually own these and go, look, pay us X amount, we will remaster these. This is a prototype we've got for you. Take a look. You could make X amount of money from this from classic fans who adore these games. I would pay more than I'm willing to admit for a remastered Hit and Run, a remastered Prototype, and a remastered Scarface. And probably a remastered Tag Team Racing.
If we think about this realistically, there's no way that they have the licenses still.
No, that's why I said they'd have to speak to the guys who own the licenses.
Yeah, there's a good chance that's going to be very difficult for them to get a hold of.
Yep, because it's Activision.
Oh.
Oh no, they own that game, but they won't have the license because they'd have to speak to the guys who own the Scarface license, which I don't think it's Warner Brothers. I'm not sure who that is. Can't remember who made Prototype. Incredible Hulk could be Warner Bros. No,
it's sort of
Marvel.
It's sort of like questioning now, like what are they actually going to do? Because they're not going to have licenses for anything, and from what it looks like on their website, as you
Activision.
said, they're sort of just selling their services,
Yeah.
trying to like get themselves into a company to work for as like a subsidiary, I guess.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
they'd essentially then whoever has the licenses for the games would need to buy them out and have them either work on remasters or work on a new game from like similar to previous titles that they did before, which
Exactly.
is going to be quite difficult considering how old they are, how long ago they were out.
You can tell which game did the best. Simpsons Hit Run, 9 million units sold. This is back on the PlayStation 2 and original Xbox. Then you got Scarface, The World Is Yours, 2 million copies sold.
That's still an insane number,
Yeah.
like for the time it was released.
Crash Bandicoot Tag Team Racing, I remember playing this. It's actually a load of fun. Crash Bandicoot Mind Over Mutant, I never played that one. Well, the few I didn't play. Same with Crash at the Titans.
I remember the original Crash Bandicoots, just the standard 2D levels.
Oh, they were great.
You're just jumping your way through. It was revolutionary when it would like slowly rotate as you were going to give the illusion of a new world, of a different world.
I actually own the prototype games on Steam. I have them installed as well.
You have nearly everything installed.
Not anymore.
As you can see, last played in 2019. Like, get the fuck out of here.
You know what's funny? I checked my files on this hard drive that I install everything to, and I found out I started installing things to that drive in 2022.
Oh my god.
Apparently, I cleared it just before then, and everything that's in there is like 2022 and after, which is insane.
So you were forced to clear up your drives when you saw that literally everything, was in the red.
I don't think any of them are in the red at the moment. There might be one. Yeah, there's one.
A miracle.
One drive. Nowhere near as bad as it used to be. I've been starting to keep it cleared out a bit because I think one of my drives is failing, which is corrupting my system. I've got a bad feeling it's the 6 terabyte, but I'm not certain.
Quite sad.
If it is, to be honest, mate, I bought that 6 terabyte for I think about 120 quid.
Oh yeah, that's not too bad.
No, it's lived its time, to be honest with you. I've had the drive for like 6 years, and honest to God, that thing, it runs at 7,200 RPM, and it sometimes actually loads faster than some people's SSDs, which is just mental to me. It really is. So the fact that that thing's still going, I cannot whinge. I really can't. But anyways, that's everything I've got for this week. Do you have anything you'd like to add this week, sir?
I just look forward to the Facepunt's Easy Entity update that's going to change absolutely nothing, so I can sit and laugh at it.
Yeah.
But also cry whenever I try to play it, and everyone is just cheating at that point. Because they probably broke something and now it just doesn't stop any cheaters. And yeah, you're just like, you spawn in, you're immediately dead. You spawn in, you're immediately dead.
Yeah, I have something actually that I can say, that I can announce now. Will shortly have a virtual reality headset again.
Yes.
And in 3 weeks' time, Beyond Sandbox finally drops. So we will definitely be playing when that drops.
Absolutely.
I don't know whether it'll be day one or within the first couple of days. It definitely will be during that time period. But
it sort of depends what's happening at the time it releases.
Exactly.
If it's midweek or the weekend or what the story is.
Exactly that. It'll definitely be within the first week, but it might not be day one. Is all I'm saying. But we probably will start to appear a bit more often, I'd imagine, considering Will's going back to VR again. So we'll probably be doing dumb shit and taking the piss and having a bit of a laugh again.
Heck yeah, dude.
So, some positive news then. Thought I'd finally announce that, now that that's pretty close, which is some good news. But yes, other than that, we thank you all very much for watching. If you have enjoyed, feel free to like, follow, subscribe, comment, and all that good stuff. And join the Discord that is down in the description. If you want to ask us questions, check in, or anything like that, feel free to do so.
And if you're watching this next Sunday, which is technically for you today, we will be streaming the next episode, the recording of the next episode, rather, right after the end of this episode, or roughly when it drops.
Yeah.
Within the next hour or two of the drop of the episode, at least.
Yeah, we usually start streaming within like that time frame. It's typically we start streaming, we chat for like half an hour or so, and then we start recording. We just do that. We like having a bit of a chat and discussion.
Yeah, it's our
beforehand.
time to do a quick little catch up, talk some crap, maybe talk about a couple things that we find out about what we talked about in this episode.
Yeah.
Maybe we find out a little bit more. We mentioned those, or just things that maybe aren't as big that aren't gonna end up in the video.
Yeah. Because we do
And
actually
then we
cut things.
and then we get into it.
Yeah. Surprisingly enough, we do cut content. Not always, but it does happen. There are things that don't make it into these episodes. But yeah, well, that's done. Thank you all very much for watching, and we will see you all next time.
Bye for now, guys. See you next week.